Welcome to the Kalos region, a land of elegance and beauty, where an ancient weapon lies buried beneath the flowers. Here, the bond between trainer and Pokémon transcends limits, and our story begins with a hard shell in the grass. A hungry chespin chews on a twig, the hard shell on its head protecting it from falling rocks. A Quilladin rolls into a ball, letting predators bounce harmlessly off its sharp thorns. A chestnut creates a shield with its arms, strong enough to flip a 50-ton tank. A fennekin eats a twig to fuel its fire, venting hot air from its large ears to cool down. A Braixen pulls a stick from its tail, using friction to light it like a magic wand. A mystical Delphox gazes into the swirling flame, seeing the future in the fire vortex. A Froakie surrounds its neck with frubbles, tiny bubbles that absorb damage from attacks. A Frogadier throws pebbles coated in bubbles, striking with the speed of a ninja. A Greninja compresses water into a throwing star, slicing through metal before vanishing. A Bunnelby digs a burrow with its ears, which are strong enough to shovel through thick roots. A Diggersby lounges around, easily lifting a boulder weighing a ton with its massive ears. A Fletchling chirps beautifully, its body temperature doubling when it gets excited. A Fletchinder flies faster, a flame sack in its belly heating up to set the grass on fire. A Talonflame dives at 300 miles per hour, scattering embers from its wings as it hunts prey. A Scatterbug eats poisonous leaves, creating a powder that makes predators dizzy. A Spupa hardens its body, standing perfectly still to avoid being noticed by birds. A Vivillon spreads its colorful wings, the pattern changing depending on the climate it lives in. A Litleo wanders away from the pride, learning to hunt while its mane gets hot. A male Pyroar breathes a stream of fire, aggressively protecting the females of the pride. A Flabebe finds a flower right after birth, clinging to it for its entire life. A Floette flutters around, using its own energy to make withered flowers bloom again. A Florges claims a beautiful garden, mercilessly attacking anyone who tramples the petals. A Skiddo performs photosynthesis with the leaves on its back, surviving without food for days. A Go-Goat senses the feelings of its rider through its horns, running smoothly over rocky terrain. A Pancham chews on a leaf to look tough, looking up to its evolution with respect. A Pangoro charges into battle, chewing a bamboo sprig to sense the movements of the enemy. A Furfrou guards a king, its thick fur trimmed to protect it from physical attacks. A Espurr stares blankly, struggling to keep its ears down to stop a psychic explosion. A male Meowstic releases psychic energy to attack, powerful enough to grind a truck to dust. A female Meowstic holds back, using her power purely for selfish defense. A Honage unclothes its blue cloth, sucking the life force out of anyone who grabs its hilt. A Doublade coordinates two swords, telepathically, slashing a target with complex patterns. A Aegislash senses a leader, using its spectral power to force a king to obey its will. A Spritzy emits a unique scent, the perfume changing depending on what it ate. Aromatisse overpowers the nose, releasing a smell so strong it can disable an opponent. A Swirlix eats only sweets, its fur becoming sticky and smelling exactly like cotton candy. A Slurpuff sniffs the air, its nose 100 million times more sensitive than a human's. A Unkay flashes its lights in a rhythm, hypnotizing prey to walk right into its tentacles. A Malamar turns the world upside down, possessing the mind of anyone who looks at its lights. A Binacle lives on a rock, the two heads arguing over which direction to move. A Barbracle coordinates 7 brains, fighting with the teamwork of an entire squad. A Skrelp hides in the seaweed, looking like rotting kelp to ambush its prey. A dragalge spits a poison so toxic that it corrodes the hull of a tanker ship. A clauncher fires a compressed water shot, knocking a flying bird out of the sky. A clawitzer launches a cannonball of water, the recoil pushing it backward through the sea. A helioptile spreads its frills, basking in the desert sun to generate electricity. A heliolisk runs across the water surface, flaring its neck to power a skyscraper. A tyrant throws a tantrum, its jaws strong enough to crunch a car into scrap metal. A tyrantrum rules the prehistoric world, tearing apart its prey with the power of a king. A mora freezes moisture into ice crystals, creating a beautiful aurora in the night sky. A Aurorus howls at the moon, creating a wall of ice to block an attack instantly. A Sylvian sends a soothing aura from its ribbons, calming a fight before it even starts. A Holucha glides from the tree canopy, delivering a flying wrestling press to its foe. A Deden sneaks into a house, using its whiskers to steal electricity from the wall outlet. A Carbink sleeps underground for millions of years, its body made of compressed jewel. A Gumi stays in the damp shade, its body covered in a germ-filled slime membrane. A Sligu dissolves its dinner with mucus, slurping up the liquid remains. A Gudra hugs its trainer tightly, leaving them covered in a sticky, impossible-to-wash goo. A Klefki sneaks into a pocket, stealing keys to add to its precious collection. A Phantom wanders the woods, possessed by the spirit of a child who got lost in the forest. A Trevenant controls the trees with its roots, trapping anyone who harms the forest. A Pumpkaboo glows with a soul light, guiding spirits to the afterlife during the harvest. A Gorgeist sings a creepy song, wandering the town streets while dragging its hair. A Bergmite freezes the air around it, repairing cracks in its ice body with snow. A Evelug floats like an aircraft carrier, letting a group of Bergmite ride on its flat back. A Noibot uses ultrasonic waves to check if a fruit is ripe before eating it. A Noivern flies through the dark cave, blasting a sound wave that shatters boulders. A Xerneas shares eternal life, its antlers glowing in 7 colors as it transforms into a tree. A Eviltal spreads its wings of oblivion, absorbing the life force of every living thing to sleep. A Zygarde monitors the ecosystem, gathering its cells to reveal its true, complete form. A Deontay compresses carbon in the air, creating a pink diamond to protect itself. A Hoopa throws a gold ring, opening a portal to steal a treasure from a distant land. A Volcanion blasts steam from its back, blowing away an entire mountain with the pressure.